anybody. God is reviving families. Suffered about it in a constructive way, willing to learn new skills and acts of God. Some are using words and phrases that are below their. Friends, we thank God for today and His love and mercy upon our lives. We have every reason to thank Him because He has been there for us. He's been keeping us through this lockdown and in the face of this pandemic. So we appreciate God for that. We've been taking our time to make use of the time provided to us by this lockdown. Last week, if we remember, we were able to discuss the characteristics of a healthy family. And out of it, we were able to mention one aspect of that characteristics, which says that a healthy family communicates in a constructive way. So on that note, today, we shall be focusing on engaging family communication. Engaging family communication. We read from the book of Proverbs chapter 25 verse 11 to 15. I read, "A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. Like a gold ring or an ornament of gold is a wise reprover to a listening ear. Like the cold of snow in the time of harvest is a faithful messenger to those who send him. He refreshes the souls of his master. Like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of a gift he does not give. With patience, a ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue will break a bone." A soft tongue will break a bone. We cannot overemphasize the role of communication in human existence, because indeed, without communication, we are lost and doomed. But with communication, we understand each other, we pass information, we divulge knowledge, and we do a lot with the information. You cannot do away with communication in the home, because even before the husband and wife come together, there was a process of communication, and communication continues even till the hereafter. There will be communication in every form. So by definition, what is communication? Since definition, it is the imparting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. I took that from an online dictionary. So it's very important we know the background where we're coming from, but today we will narrow our discussion on factors that affect communication generally and at home. So one of the factors that affects communication is perception of life. Do you remember the first time you met your best friend, whom you are married to today? What was your initial thoughts about that person? Did you think they look scary, funny, smart, stupid, or intimidating? Your initial thoughts that run through your mind were your perception of that person. So you must understand this, that perception is the processing, interpreting, selecting, and organizing of information. So perception affects on the communication process. It's always about how the same message can be interpreted differently by different people. Perception of life. But there are factors that affect perception. These factors could be past experiences, culture, and present feelings. Nevertheless, The lens that men view life is different from women's lens. According to Dr. Emerson, in his book titled Love and Respect, he posits that not only do men and women see differently, but they also hear differently. They may hear the same words, but get much different message. So there is this kind of difference in the way we understand each other. The words or information will make a great impact if it is well conceived, well communicated to, and well understood. Because if one that is receiving did not understand the message passed across, the person will take the wrong action. So aside that, there are other factors that affect communication. As the second thing is personality traits, that's temperament. You should know that you are uniquely created by God. Such specialty do affect how you communicate with other people. Consequently, you are meant to adjust positively where necessary in order to suit and restore a wonderful and robust communication in the house. So this lockdown period is providing us with the opportunity to be able to assess our communication pattern, see where we are faltering, and see how we can adjust to have a better home. Here is a brief analysis of temperaments as it affects communication. According to Myers-Briggs naming system, he said that temperament can be classified into 4 groups as follows: choleric, sanguine, melancholy, phlegmatic. The choleric type is sometimes called the driver and is also known as the doer. In the area of communication, the choleric gets straight to the point and is not concerned with the feelings of others. So, if you are married to a choleric, you know the reason why he bursts off sometimes, or you know the reason why she bursts off sometimes, because of the traces or the elements of that nature in he or her life. Now, the second one is sanguine. Sanguine is an outgoing, warm person. Is also being known as the talker, talks a lot. They are talkers and are concerned with others' feelings. Sanguine is lured to hurt others' feelings and will avoid conflict at almost any price. They are the people who always want to be jovial and want to make people laugh. Then we also have the melancholy. The melancholy is the highly organized person, detailed and critical. It's known as the thinker. The melancholy fall into the class of the introverts, and such person is often moody. They often feel that they are right. So because they have carefully analyzed whatever subject they are talking about, they will tend to argue over and over. Because why? They already analyze and they feel that they are right with their analysis. The last among them is the phlegmatic. The phlegmatic is the quietest of the 4 types. It's known as the watcher. And we often have some women like that. They will sit down quietly watching. They think they don't know. They do know. And they will be just quiet. And you know, the phlegmatic are the teasers, the D's a lot. They are calm on the surface. They are most likely to be anxious internally when communicating. But I want you to note something here. that out of these 4 major classes, there are about 16 combinations of the 4 classes. And no one on earth has the entire 4, possessing the entire 4 classes. No. But each one of us have at most the 3 classes, 1 predominant and 2 dominant. So it's very important you assess yourself to know what you are doing. So when it comes to communication, let's look at another example of that. A watcher attempting to push the same project to the doer. The watcher is the phlegmatic, the doer is the choleric. The watcher should expect any perceived weak points to be questioned instead of taking it as a personal rejection. Give the doer a reasoned response, because the doer will ask critical questions. But by understanding the 4 temperament in yourself and others, you'll be able to communicate effectively within the team or within your home. Maximum effectiveness is achieved when the home or a team has a variety of temperament, and that is why it's good when the husband is predominantly melancholy, the woman should be predominantly sanguine, or whatever the case may be.